Okay. Then I will try to share. So you have a class leadership and you're tired, but then we can try to awake. Let us try to be awake for a few more, how many hours? Yeah, at least 1 hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 45 minutes.
I also class in the morning, and then you also have from 1 or 1:30 leadership, and some people have your own classes in the morning. Those who are in MIBC, in my colleague people, they have classes. So everyone is equal. Anyway, now we can continue our class. So thank you very much for coming, and I hope you are doing your article critics.
Yes, sir, we are doing.
Yeah, you're doing. How to submit is where I am thinking. You can submit it to your director's mail, and then I will take it from there. Okay? Email.
Sir, is there any format
When will you
like
submit, sir?
spacing?
Asalumla, what are you saying? Say it again.
Like, is there any format like spacing, all those things?
For your assignment, it just you follow normal, and spacing, of course, is double space. You follow at least 1.5 space. Assignment. Okay. Phone and other things are all the same as you follow, but spacing, don't do the single space. 1.5 space you follow. When you are writing a thesis, you will do double space. But for assignment, to save your this thing data also, just do it with 1.5. Is it clear?
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. And then you can, somebody is asking how to submit.
At what time when we'll submit?
Where to submit, right?
Only time. When we'll submit our assignment?
Today is the last date, no? Up till midnight you have.
Okay, midnight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So you submit.
We still have chance to write something.
Tomorrow.
That will not be, from now you are doing, I guarantee you, if you start tonight, that paper is, you will not get any critics.
Okay, sir.
For the namesake only you are doing. You haven't read, you haven't, you have to read again and again, and then only you can critique. One time you are reading, tonight you are writing, that paper is 0 out of 0 only.
Sir, we have done. Of course, we have done.
Chances is only tonight. That is what I am saying. That chance is very limit. Within the limit, even a brilliant scientist can do a little bit.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
And you and we are taking 3 days. And if you do 3 days job, only within the 10 hours, you imagine the quality of the work.
Yes, sir.
I'm scolding you guys.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Anyway, I accept it and I agree with you. One thing which I would like to clear between us and you is that regarding this writing of research paper. So can we do that in handwritten, or else it is compulsory to type and send it to director?
The assignment, you said it in his email, and I will get it from him. Whatever the assignment. Okay.
And because of lack of number of book here with us, so it is a part of research.
No. See, Mr. Serto, don't worry about the research now. We are studying how to do research. After that only you will start. Now you are doing critique on the article. Article, you don't need any other books to refer. You read the article and critique that article.
Okay.
That is only you have to do. You read and read and read that article 3, 4 times, 5 times, how many times? Then you have to critique that one. You don't need to refer any other books. When you start writing on your research paper of the thesis, let us say, right? Then only you may need some other material. This is just like a homework only, school homework. This is your homework. Homework I am giving in such a way that you don't need any other library books. Right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, anyway, you do, those who haven't do it tonight, and but then I guarantee you that quality will not be there. And next time you do as from the start. I mean, for you also it is a very, you need a time to think, you know, one person's idea you are reading and trying to critique on that. You need more time to read and listen what he is saying, what his issue is dealing with, right? So we need a little bit more time, not just hurry-burry. This is not M.Th. You are still staying in M.Th mood, I think. You had to come out of that M.Th mood. You are a research scholar now. You are a scholar. M.Th is not M.Th. So come out of that. Now let us go to the our subject. Today we are picking up research methodology, but the research discipline is where I want to start with. The discipline in doing a research. Everything we have a discipline. Everywhere we have a discipline. Discipline in the home, in the school, in the hostel, in the study, everywhere is discipline. So also, doing a research, there are a few disciplines that we have to follow. The discipline of research is firmly built on the foundation of scientific method. Discipline of a research is based on the scientific method. What is that scientific method? It simply means the process of discovering and verifying truth claim. Scientific method means the process of discovering and verifying the truth claim. You are trying to discover a new truth. Yes, yesterday we said. You are trying to discover a new knowledge, new truth. That process, you are verifying it. That is the process, and you need that discipline. That is the process of that verifying the new truth claim is what we call it scientific method, and that is what involved in the discipline in research. So it is ongoing process. Ongoing process. It is not an aim. It is not an aim. Okay, I finish. It is end. No, it is our life itself is ongoing process of every day discovering, rediscovering, and verifying all these things. Okay. So a discipline of research is firmly built on a scientific method. The scientific method simply means the process of discovering and verifying the truth claim. Those ongoing process, the process is based or characterized by collection of data. Collection of data. The process of your verification is characterized by collection of data. Data collection. You and I have to collect a lot of data in regard to our this thing work. Data collection is one of the process in discovering and verifying the truth claim of any research. And second thing is classification of this data. The data you have collected, then you have to classify. I don't know. This data collection has different ways of doing it, and classification also is there. You might need to go deeper on it, but then yeah, that is leave for you. your own personal effort on how to classify your collection of data. And then you collected the data, the information you collected, and then you classify the data. Then the next thing is you are verifying your data, verification of those formulation. Collect the data and classified it and verified it. After you verified it and you proved it convincingly, then you are going to report it. What is your finding? All right. Collect, classified, verified, and then report. See the system, the sequence, the flow of this. Then after reporting of the findings for critique, then application and final products will come. That is how the writing is. Okay? So simply remember the system, any research, the discipline involved, you are trying to collect the data. That is a discipline, the process of verifying. And whatever you collected, your data, you need to classify it. After classification of your data, then you verified it. After verifying your information and data, everything, then report. After reporting, then you are applying. That means then you are writing it, or actually the final product is the book, the research book, the research project comes. So now you are just applied it. You are going to write it. So in a particular subject area you have already identified, then towards that identity of the problem or issue, you are collecting the data. You collect here and there, whatever it is. Just like a bee collecting the what do we call, the honey from the flower, different places. The bee flies and suck the juice of the flower, collect and keep in the honey that these things, their comb. And after that they collected, they keep it there and they classified. You see honey-bee, small cabins, all are there. So it is just for example. So you collect every possible information that you can get it, and the data, then you have to classify it. This one is the first, this one is second, or kind of thing. This is needed, this is not needed. Everything after you classified, verified it. Whether it is a proof is there or not. Whether there is can be used or not. A strong support is there or not. You are verifying. Then only you report it. Report writings, applied it, and the final products comes. I hope that will that is doing okay. So discipline is collection of data, classification of data, verification of your data, reporting of your finding, and then application, final product. That is a simple discipline. Now, let me tell you, this one is the method of data collection. The method of data collection, there are two different sources. One is primary sources. You are collecting data from two different sources. Okay? Two different sources you are collecting. Primary sources and secondary sources. So your method, the data collection mainly based on these two sources. Primary sources means your observation, your interview, your questionnaire, and then in observation there are participant observation, and another one is non-participant observation. Okay, let me explain it more. In the observation collection of data, you have participant observation. Participant observation simply means you are involving in it. Suppose you wanted to get some information from Tura and or Arunachal Pradesh or from Manipur or from Tripura, let us say, then you yourself are involved going there and living in some the material where you wanted to collect. Say for example the tribe, one tribe, any of the tribe, that where are they? Say for example Nisi tribe, you know, Adi, what is that? Yeah, Nisi tribe, Adi tribe in Arunachal Pradesh. You wanted to do something and collect some data information regarding the Nisi tribe. You participant observation means you are going there, living among them and seeing them by your own eyes, what they, how they live, what do they dress, and what are the things. So you are participating in their functions, in their life. You tasted it personally, right? That is called participant observation. You yourself going in any field that involve in. Non-participant is opposite of that. Suppose you want to do an NEC tribe, but you are not going there, your friend is there or a pastor, you know whom, someone is there, so you call through phone and they are sending information to you. All the data you needed information is sent by somebody who is there in Arunachal among the Nisi tribe, and whatever you wanted to know, you asked him to do it for you, and they did it, collected it, and sending. That is called non-participant observation. You are getting information, correct information, not wrong, but you yourself are not in a participant there. Therefore, non-participant observation. So, observation, there are two types of observation. Participant observation, non-participant observation. In a primary source, observation is needed. In observation, there are two way of participants. One is participant observation, another one is non-participant observation. And second thing is interviewing. In primary source, there is interviewing. In interviewing, there are some structures are there, and unstructured interviews is there. Structured interview and unstructured interview. Structured interview means you are organizing a group of people in such a place, in such a time that we will meet together. So you call the people official types, officially, very formally, not informally. Formally, you call a few people, you sit them with them, and then you talk with them, interviewing. So you structure the interview, just like journalists sometimes they do. You know, when they call the politicians, they sit there, you know, make properly everything, cameras ready, and then on they start. That is a structure interview. Okay. Structure interview is there. Non-structure, unstructured is anytime anybody that you can even interview, even phone also you can interview, or without prior information you can ask people. You go to the town or sit in the hotel, you meet some people, or you are in the field, you meet some people, but you are asking randomly the question about. But in a structure, you have written the question also. What you wanted to know, everything is structure. Your question is a structure, and the people you have organized, everything for interview also. Two different types of interview. One is structured interview, another is unstructured interview in the primary source. So, there is interviews. We can interview people informally or formally. formally is a structure 1. In that case, your question also is already set what you want to ask. 1 to 50 or 100 or 10 question also already there. So you are not wondering, and your top is not diverted by some other topics comes in. You know, when we talk of something else, different topics comes in, and our conversation divert into different topics. That happen in unstructured interview. When you are talking, something comes in between, he mentioned or you mention, and it comes in your mind, you wanted to know and you added it, and it carries on, and sometimes it carries away into some other topics. But structure is not like that. Everything is structure. Questions are ready. Structure 1, 2, 3. After this, I want to know this, therefore I ask this. After this, I want to know, therefore question also is prepared. That is called structure interview, and there is an unstructured interview. So interview also, there are two methods. Observation also in 2 ways, and questionnaire, mild questionnaires and collective questionnaire. So this also mild questionnaire, slightly individual, you can they can answer by individual, and collective is that as a tribe, as a group representative. You know, in a village, all the village observing in a village is not one person's, but it is a collective. So you can make in such a way questionnaire also answer by one person, or that can be a group or the village people's answer the question. And therefore, in the primary source, you have observation. First, you have to observe. Observation can be in 2 ways. Second, you have to interview people. These also, there are 2 methods of interviewing. And then questionnaire. You have made question. That is called a primary source, from where you got your data, from where you collect your data, information for your research. And the other one is secondary sources. Secondary sources simply means documents. It is very easy, and many people use this one, secondary sources. The documents includes government publications, you know, like a census, and all the number and other institutions, hospitals, education centers, sports centers, all the directories of the government publications are there. That is a document by government, secondary source. Earlier research, earlier some people may have done some research on regard to that particular subject, and because of they have done the research, they have the sources, they have the sources. Therefore, you are referring to their research. Our senior one and all the elderly people before us, they have done research on that, so you refer their research books. This is also document. Census, as I said, and personal records. Personal records are there. Client histories, the history of the persons or the country or the states or the tribe. You know, the history of the Northeast tribe. There are books, written books, and service recorded. If you are doing anything on the services that you want to know, how many government employee they have in that state or in that tribe or in that particular people or the village, how many government employee they have, kind of thing. So service records are there. You can refer it into the government documents. And earlier researches, census, and personal records. All these documents include all the written documents. Okay, and as we say that even in the churches, organization, their books are there. Their historical books are there. Church history in regards to church and mission, history books are there. and you can collect even some of their meeting agendas, meeting minutes are there, so you can make. So this is one of the area where we get a data, one of the area where we collect data. So data collection method is number one is this, and this is mainly what we use and where people do, and so you can also anyway automatically you're going to fall into these kind of categories, collecting data. And if you are not mixing up, it will help you more. You may know now, or before also you may already know, but you have to be categorize these. What are the primary sources when you collect data? What are the secondary sources? Keep it separately. That is why we maintain files, and even you are using laptop also folders, different folders where you keep the primary sources, where you keep the secondary sources. So when you are verifying it, convincing proof will be that sources. So then you have to make and prove for that. All right. So that is how you collect the data. And this is mainly where we do. And we go involved a lot of these things what we do. And the document, secondary source, all the library books. You see, one of the thing is, we are complaining that we don't have a library books and all, that is fine. But what about the primary resource? These two have to be balanced. Not only library, we are, of course, library research, if you are doing it, fine, then you can depend upon library books and only secondary sources. If you are asked to do secondary sources, and if you are asked to do primary sources only for exercise and for learning purpose, you can do that as well. But these two are the place where we collect our data. Many of us used to say the library books because we copied a lot, and I want to stop these things in colleges. And like Salumla was asking me, I'm a faculty of this MIBCS yesterday, and in fact, yes, I am part of the faculty of the M.Th department. Okay, I am a part of, the postgraduate departments. So I am part of it with my friends, that you are director, and so in this kind of department, we do a lot of these collections and data and researches involved. And therefore, some of the M.Th and BD level, we have a lot of students we have come across. They said, no library books, books are not available. And I said, if not books available, you do the primary sources. So there is no excuse for us. Whether one is available, then you have to find out. Before you study, choosing your topic itself need to be based on where will I get data, more data I can find. There you have to select even the subjects also. So people are going. So let us have a break here. All right. They get up and goes, and so yeah.
Sorry, sir. Light came, so I tried to connect our fan.
Yeah. Here also. Thank you for telling me. Now my fan is on, so I am cooling now. Very good.
You can adjust your left also. Forget about that one there.
Yeah, Karen has come. Very good. Any clarification query? Anything that you wanted to clarify? Not clear?
Sir, one thing, sir, that participant and non-participant, can you repeat again this part only?
Okay, I'll tell you for an example, right? I will tell you with an example. Suppose a tribal, I am saying a tribal, right? What kind of tribe you are familiar with? Whose are there? Any tribe, mention, tell the name.
Tribe.
Very backward tribe. Tripura, Arunachal, or Assam.
Very big word. What will I say?
Everybody is standard now. Even village also, you know, what do we call? Smart cities, not smart village, they say.
Smart village. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone is a standard now. Nobody is backward.
Sir. Munda.
Okay, Mundaris, Munda tribe, yes.
Yeah.
Santali, Mundaris, Urao, those, you know,
Yeah.
and then Malto tribes, they are all in West Bengal, Bihar. There I used to work. I am a missionary, you remember that.
Yeah.
I'm a missionary when I was teenage, just finished high school. So Santali, Mundari, and Malto, those are the tribe I work with. All right, you are saying, what tribe you are saying, Mundari?
Yeah. Munda.
Mundas, no?
Munda.
Yeah. Say for example, they are living in the jungle. Okay, especially the Malto tribe we work there. They live in the jungle. They are not educated. We are thinking of that the backward. So they are not educated. They live in the jungle. They have no medical facilities, and they have no access to all this education, and they live in no electricity. And so imagine that they are there, and you want to know about this Munda tribe. You can know through browsing the Googles, and you can know by asking some people who knows about this tribe, and then yeah, that is called non-participant observation. You are observing, you are sitting in the Maikuli and studying about the Mundari tribe in Bihar or West Bengal. Okay? You are not going there. You are here in Maikuli, but you are studying about the Mundari tribe in somewhere else, Bihar or Jharkhand. That is called non-participant observation. You do all the study, the material available through nets, through people, but you are just sitting here only in Maikuli.
Oh. Yeah.
You are not going there. So you are not participating physically in doing research about them. Right. And therefore, the problem of non-participant is we don't know detail about it. When you go there, suppose the one person is sick. According to them, sickness, fever for us, we'll think maybe malaria, no? Malaria or dengue or something else maybe. Nowadays it's COVID coming, so it may be corona or something we think. But what they are thinking is, they met one evil spirit on the road. They might disturb some evil spirit. Therefore, his evil spirit is disturbing. Therefore, he get a fever. So that one, when you are in staying with them, only you will come to know. Sickness, we outside we think maybe malaria, fever, dengue or COVID or something we think. But for them it is not. So when you are inside, you live in their village, you went to the Jharkhand, you live among the Mundas, you eat what they are making it, and then you use what the plate they use with this 3 leaves, no leaves only they make plates. Use and throw, use and throw. Banana leaves they eat, no plate. So those kind of things is participant observation. You are observing it. Any festival you join, the dance you dance, and you know in detail about them because you yourself are there in their village. And you observe from there. Inside observation is called participant observation. And non-participant observation is outside observation. Alright. Inside observation, participant observation. Outside observation, non-participant observation. Alright. I hope I make it more clear.
Yes, sir. It is clear.
Very good. Classification. This is data classification. So the data classification you do in the first, number one, identify your data asset. Identify your collection. What are the things you have collected? Develop protection profile. Of course, that is the simple method that you have to protect your data. Like me, like somebody, I'm also doing it now very much. I keep forgetting everything. Even file I lost, where I kept, I don't know. I have to search all over again, and then somewhere else, unexpected places, I found my things. This is simple, normal forgetfulness. Therefore, it is planning is where we have to do planning. Number one is planning. In the planning, you have identify your data asset, means data box, where you keep your folder, where you keep your file. Accordingly, you classified it and put it properly and develop protection of it. Plan. First plan. Second, do it. So deploy your classification program. That means you are doing it. Doing it the program, actually doing it the process. Implement. Deploy your classification, you practically applied it, and then implement also is the same as you are classifying, you are doing it. So the classification in library, some library classifications are there. Librarian will teach you, tell you these things. When you go to a library, to visit a library, and you can ask all the classification of the books. How do they classify? Nowadays, all computer, decimal classification is there. Others, I don't know the name. Our librarians knows it. Librarians, they know it. How do they classify even the book? So that easily you find what kind of books are there in which classification or which asset. Religious book is classified into this category and they were there. Mission books classified in this category and they were there. So the history book classified in this category and they were there. So classification of the data asset. So library also, they have done these things in the book. The similar way in your own data collection, like the library function, you have to data collection, not mixing up here and there. That is where, sometime long time ago when we collected, there was no laptop. We don't have though. In my M.Th is no laptop, only desktop for the office we have. We have to write down. Sometime in the table, that important data collected, trying to keep it in the proper places, belongs to this group classifying. And suddenly some people at home who are not aware, like children and some of the house cleaning lady, they will look at and thought this may be no use, so they will throw your, after long time research done in one page, important things you missed out. It happened. But nowadays it is more safe because you have the computer. But those days that was the normal suffering. In the home, some house cleaning ladies or the house mother is doing, if they doesn't know that your paper is there on the table, cleaning table, they take it out and throw it in the dustbin. Sometime like that it happened. So planning is more important. You plan properly. Number one, deployed it, your protection files, and then whatever you have collected. Number two, we said that you are deploying and start programming, implemented it, that you are doing. And number 3, when you classify, you plan it properly and you have started deploying your classification, your data, your program process. And number 3, you have to check it, review it, recheck it. Otherwise, it may be not matching also. Sometimes computer
Hello, sir.
His network.
Hello.
His network.
So we have to check it and fix it where appropriately. Otherwise, you will fix it wrongly. So then there will be no flow is there. So check and recheck. And the 4th step is reclassify your data. You check, recheck, and then you will find some of the data were not necessary at this chapter. Then you will have to reclassify it where it will be more fit on these data. Okay, so in classification, at least you have a 4-step to follow. Knowingly or unknowingly, you have to follow this. Applied this in your process of writing thesis. Or what we are doing is, in the end, you are going to find these things. Write a thesis. Karen has gone again in Maikuli area. So that is what classification details. All right. So we have the data collection, and after we collect everything, we have to classify it. We have classification. That means if you do this properly, then you are almost done your this thing, thesis, research, done. Only thing is your typing is remaining and printing is remaining. So it is done only. But you have to follow all these things. And it is not mamuli though, right? This is not mamuli things. If you don't, then your thesis will not come into system order. Logical coherence, argument, and all these things, convincing proof will not be there if something is to miss out. All right. Now we'll go ahead. Motivation. Research motivation. What motivates you to do a research? Anybody can share. Tribute. What is your motivation personally? It may not be the same, or it may be the same because I wanted to get M.Th degree. Therefore, that is the motivation. That is for everyone. Okay? Everyone. So research motivation, what motivates you to do, not a research, I want to ask you, what motivates you to do M.Th? There must be motivation. You want a degree, of course, I want a degree. Certificate is number 1. And what others motivate you? Can you share it? Electric power has gone again in my house. my kuli, no? Dhoni, my kuli power chala gaya.
My colleague, our house also.
Yeah, we are same line. So what motivate you to do M.Th? I asked you already though, but let me hear it, and everyone should hear. Last time privately I asked you, what motivate you to do M.Th? You are this one, no? This one. Bruce Lee.
I want
Okay, so, Salumla is saying, tell me.
I want to gain more knowledge, know more
Right.
about
You want to get, okay.
since our
Knowledge of what?
knowledge of the things that we are learning now and whatever is required for the ministry.
Okay. Wow, very good. That
Yes,
motivates
yes.
you because you are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. People,
Yeah.
those of us here
Okay.
involved in ministry, so
Alright.
we need to learn the word of God even more. So that is the outcome motivation we have.
In theological study, we don't do Bible studies much. You know it, right?
Yes. But we also have a certain strategy to follow.
Okay.
We are in the ministry. So we need to have the profound knowledge of the Word of God.
I
We
see.
have a strong desire
That is
compels us to do. Little bit
wow. Like Apostle Paul. You sound now like Apostle Paul already.
Yeah. It's not only
Very good.
we can.
Appreciate. That is all. Everybody is saying that I want to have a knowledge more about the Bible knowledge and all these things. Everybody is saying. I don't know how
Yeah.
should I say.
And I can
Ah,
also,
that is one thing. Truth. Yeah.
yes.
We want to know more about Bible knowledge. But the problem is in theological college. You all have theological background, except Johnny. Johnny is just starting, and yeah, of course, he also have now. We don't study Bible here. Bible to kahan se? We do all these kind of things, and then sometimes no reading also, no? We study more what we call the technology, not these things. Other department studies we do, not the Bible. Therefore, biblical subject is there, but that is only few people does. Anyway, so that is the motivation. Everyone, Jack, your motivation for doing M.Th?
Yeah. So we have very qualified believers in our church. So
Okay.
as the pastor in church, I need some qualification to lead.
Right. That motivates you. I need to be compete with, at least level of it or higher than them.
Not actually compete. It's a related, very much related method.
All right. Good. Any motivation? Other girls? Johnny has 2 girlfriends. What are they? They are not saying anything.
Sir, for me, I would like to say that learning the Word of God, it becomes a main part of my life as a servant of God. And I'm working here among five ethnic group of people. So some of them are qualified, as Pastor has said. So
Right.
even I feel I should learn a little bit more or gain more knowledge on the Word of God.
Very good. Yes.
Not
So,
misuse it.
yeah. What about the Rineyang? No, what is the Rineyang and then Pomai? Johnny's 2 girlfriends. What motivates you? Tell me. Everyone is listening. Tell. Yeah?
Okay, first, your turn. Say.
Anybody can start. Come on. Yes.
Actually, I just want to get same knowledge like same with men only. Men thought that female come to right.
Okay.
Women come to
She's
the high level come achieve that
She's already started. She's already started feminism. Okay, this girl.
Get more knowledge.
Yes.
In ministry.
I can understand that. Properly putting it will be this is, not only men can have the knowledge, women also can have a knowledge, theological knowledge, right?
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, not the feminist, this, yeah. And the other girl, Rineyang, say something.
Sir, my main purpose is when we gain more knowledge, when we go and share something to the people, we give them more understanding.
Okay.
So that makes me motivate to learn.
All right, that is your motivation. Remember always the question before you write the answer. School teacher always say. So what is your motivation? Right. Steven, you have any different motivation from these people or the same as they have? What motivates you to do MTS is the question. Yes, Steven.
Oh, to me,
Yes, everyone has said.
actually, the sound is not so clear. I was
Oh,
listening and I got a good result from uh, friend. Actually, the reason I want to study is to go further and deeper understanding of what we are, what I am doing it. And actually,
yes.
since I'm working among the underprivileged children, so
Right,
from a
right.
different backgrounds, and from different tribes and the even the valley and from the hills. So it's very difficult to what to say, dig them out their belongings. So in that way, and actually, since we are doing a ministry in our mission field, it's very required and important. So that
All right.
what I mean is to
Very good. Everyone has a good reason, and almost all are the same reason why we do motivating us. So the same way, our motivation to do research must be there. There is a reason why we wanted to do MTAs, right? Everyone has said their own reason, even though they almost all are connected and the same. That is the motivating factor for us to do the study, MTAs. And now, to do the research is also there is some motivating factors. So motivating factor for research is related to number one, problem. Okay, we do research. Motivation, I mean, what are you interested? You are interested in something else, or otherwise you are disturbed by something else, which is the problem. So that is why we are motivated to solve that problem, or to get the answer to that problem. That is our motivation. That should be your motivation in doing a research. Okay, the motivation for research is normally related to some problem. Number one, some curiosity. Number two, these two factors are our motivation or motivating factor in doing research. I'll tell you how. Problems. So there you say you are looking at the society and you are looking at the church, and just like Stewart was mentioning that underprivileged children, there is some problem is there that disturbing our mind. How can I bring some solution to this problem? How can I give some answer to the problem? If cannot be the whole problem solved, but at least some, it can be solved the problem. So the problem is one of the motivating factor. You should have the problem. You should see the problem. I'm giving you very clear point of view in your doing research. Why you wanted to choose now? You're going to choose your own field, subject, title regarding to some fields. So that should be the motivating factor should come out of some problem in that field. Maybe that the underprivileged children, nobody cares them, there is a poverty outbreak, therefore this thing, or otherwise in the church are like this, therefore this is the problem, and I wanted to bring some solution to this problem. There is a lack of leadership is there, therefore I wanted to bring into the church leadership. or organization I wanted to bring, or the poor widows are neglected, therefore I wanted to bring in, or otherwise in the Northeast there are many people, tribes and tribes are fighting, there is no peace, therefore I wanted to bring into peace. Some problems should be our motivating factor. If you don't see any problem, you cannot do any research. There cannot be any doing a research because when you find no problem. And there is no need of doing, because the research is to solve and bring some resolution to the problem. Unless until you find a problem, you cannot do any research. What is the problem you wanted to deal with? Try to find out by now itself what is the problem in the field that you wanted to write. So if you find the problem properly, then answer is where you are going to do research. You are going to collect the data. You are going to arrange your data. You are going to interviews. You are going to check the library regarding to that problem, how that was in before and how we can solve. What is the reason of the problem? That is where research is. So one problem you need to find it out by now itself. Unless you find a problem, and that you cannot do a research. So when your final thesis title, proposing of the title, that is where you wanted to find out what is the problem. Then I will ask you the same at that time also. What is the problem in this? You wanted to do a research. Okay. So problem must be a motivating factor in doing research. Find out the problem. What is the tribe problem, or poverty problem, problem, or mission problem, or any money problem, sex problem, drug problem. So many problems are there now. And what are we doing it? Is what I wanted to do. The challenge you have to take. That is one problem is there. Number two, curiosity. Curiosity, I mean, you are so curious to know, to find a kind of things, is so much interested on it. Your interest is based on this particular field. Maybe music, maybe, shooting, making Christian movies and cinemas, or creating a song or concert or any other thing. I mean, you are so curious to know about something. Say, for example, about a tribe, you want to know them. The poverty people, the slum area, you want to know them more. Or the church, you want to know them. Missionaries, you want to know. Why? What a missionary is supposed to be. So you are so interested in that. Curious, hunger and thirst. Curiosity simply means you are hunger and thirst for that particular thing, or particular topic, or particular person. Anything can be. Your thirst and hunger for that particular issues. You want to know more. You wanted to deal with it, and you wanted to bring some solution of it. So research motivating factors are two. Number one, problem. Number two, curiosity. Unless you have this interest and curiosity, hunger and thirst, on the way you do research, you will not complete. You will not complete. You will be on the middle of it, you will get stuck. Zoni, you are sleeping?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm listening.
Oh, okay. I know this is afternoon. After that 1 o'clock, I was very much happy to see that all of you guys in the leadership. This afternoon is very, very tiresome time. But you are very much awake. So that is the two things. So two problems, two factors of motivating factor, problem and curiosity. You have to have this curiosity in some particular subject, then only you can do it. Otherwise you will be stuck on it, and on the middle of it you will stop. And that is why many people, or some of them at least, could not complete M.Th. Don't think that if you really want to do, to know more about, as you were saying in the beginning, I want to know more about, I want to go deeper on this knowledge, then you have to do seriously a research on it. Then if you cannot finish it, that means that you have to have this curiosity. Otherwise, if you are not hunger, you are not thirst, you will be fed up. You will be fed up. So before you fed up, you have to do it first, hungry first. Then you can eat and study more. One of the primary value of this method is commitment. The problem or the curiosity. You have to have a commitment to do that. Intellectual integrity. Intellectual integrity, not stealing. See, education also, you know, people are academic assassination, I call it, academic assassination. They assassinate academically. How? They copy other people's and they pasted it as it is their own. They don't give any acknowledgement. I am taking this is from so and so. No. They simply copy it from the books, from the others, and then they presented it. That is called academic assassination. That is not integrity. Intellectual integrity should be there. Simply meaning, what is your capacity, intellectual level? You should do it afresh, your own original. Original research, not somebody else's research copying it. Not from the book copying it. All the assignments in some of the students, M.Th level, B.Th level, almost all cut and paste, cut and paste. So therefore, this time we don't allow here in our, this another college here, no internet, footnotes in internet, no Google copying. I mean, you're not allowed internet use in the research. For BTAs, M.Th, internet not required. We have a lot of books. Book itself is enough. Because some people cut and copied, you know, from the Google, the internet, they copied, pasted it, make it their own. That is called academic assassination. You are thief. Another word, we are stealing. You know, we forgot that we are Christian and doing a research and we are stealing it. How come? It is not matching with our standard. We claim to be a theologians and going to be a pastor and missionary, and in our doing research we are stealing from somebody's and not telling I'm taking from him, from her. That is a stealing. So therefore, intellectually there should be integrity in our doing research. The problem and the curiosity, the value it will be there when you are committed, when you do intellectually very true, original of your own research and finding. Seeking to verify the truthful of all claims. You have to, seeking to verify, verification of what you said, this is true. And you are giving the footnotes. You are giving the proof. You are claiming this is true. Your truth has to be verified by the support of the other sources. And then you are okay, good. Witnesses, you know, we need a witnesses. You say it is true. You did it. But who is the witness? Even the court case also, witness is very important. Without a witness, the case cannot be accepted. Right? So at least witnesses. So the truth claim of your research, you are saying the problem is this, the answer is this. You are claiming this is the answer to this problem. But your answer is how far it is true has to be verified by some other sources. Test we have to do it. So therefore, intellectual integrity, commitment, and truth verification is important. So otherwise you will be misrepresenting the fact. Otherwise you will misquoting, or otherwise end up with as stealing with somebody's ideas. All right. So motivating factor is that. Problem is motivating you to do, or your curiosity, hunger and thirst and interest is there to do it. And as you do it, you have to have a commitment. You have to have integrity intellectually, originer of your own capacity, intellectual capacity origin, not stealing from somebody. And then verification of your claim. These things are very, very important. And if these things are there, your thesis is very much qualified, and then you get M.Th degree. Otherwise, don't think that you will get M.Th degree. All right. Now, let us go to the next characteristics of the research. Characteristics of a research. Simply meaning, in a research you have objectivity, you make it very clear what is your objective. There should be quality and integrity in collecting the data. Okay? We have just said that data collection and data processing, all these things, that should be quality, not quantity. Quality. What you collected, your data must be quality data and integrity, whatever you have collected. And the conclusion of any project must be firmly grounded in that objective rather than your personal opinion. Okay? Your personal opinion will be okay, we have personal opinion, but the data you collected, the project is supported by your data collection. So your personal opinion also will be qualified only when quality of data collection to support your idea. And therefore, the project paper, the thesis paper, what you are writing, objective is must be very clear. There should be quality, integrity of collecting data. And in the conclusion, your project must be firmly grounded with the objective of data, not on your own personal opinion. The conclusion also is not by your opinion, but firm by your data collection of research. And accuracy. Accuracy is how much you are accurate, correct, hit on the target. Exact meaning, not beating round the bush. Not beating round the bush, beating round the bush. So accuracy means you are accurate, not long, not short, exactly. Suppose when the mystery is cutting, the wood, making a chair or table or a door frame, it cuts on the exact measurement. When it put it to, it fixed exactly, accurate. That is what accuracy is. So exact meaning or measurement must be followed. Research is not about approximation or guess. I think, it is not I think. Research is, the character of research accuracy is not I think. No, it is not I think. Approximately, no, that is also not accept. Approximately is not accept. Exactly the number, 100 means 100. 75 means 75. Approximately 75, that is not qualified for a thesis. That is what the meaning of accuracy is. Your all data, your all information, your all writing must be accurate. That is the character of a research. Research is a process by which a carefully construct models, prediction with attention to detail. So research is process by carefully construct models, and also you are predicting with all attention in detail. And therefore accuracy, objectivity, you must be quality of data collecting, integrity of your collection, and the conclusion is not your personal opinions, but based on your resources support. Accuracy, it cannot be Accuracy, it cannot be approximately or I suppose type of things. Exactly it is like that. So that is what the characteristic of this thing, research is. All right. Any clarification or anything that you wanted?
Any question?
You can double click, you can see it here.
Where?
If you double click, you can see it. Oh,
This is double click already.
oh, your screen.
Who was that? Just join?
It is just here. No, my battery is done. So,
Oh, okay. You changed another device.
my battery is
All
done.
right.
No.
Okay. Now, this objectivity and accuracy is all right. Now, these are the character of a research. You must be objective, must be very clear, very quality and integrity, and the accuracy very exactly. Now, the third thing is explanation. Research should reduce complex realities to simple explanation. Okay? The goal of research is to clarify understandings. So, I will explain this. Research should reduce complex realities into simple explanation. That makes sense. I hope you understand. Research should, in another word, research should not be complex, complicated. When people see there is complicated things, high vocabularies and other things, it sounds like very academically very high. No, it is not. You can use a simple language. English also a simple one. Unless you are trying to hit some higher level of the academic target. Otherwise, it is always advisable to make a simple explanation into a simple languages that is accepted. Because your research paper could be accessed by many people. Simple people also can read and understand with the simple languages. And even higher educated people also can read and they understand. So highly educated, middle class educated, and even some lower education category of people can also read. And therefore, research should be reduced complex realities. You should not make a very, what do we call, complicated. Whether your word or your use of things, it should be very simple. Simply means very simple. The goal is to make people understand. Our research is solving the problem. Therefore, in order to solve the problem, what we said people should understand in the simple terms. Simple terms, not complex. Or make it reduce the complex realities into simple explanation so that people can understand what you are saying, what you are bringing into the solution of the problem, or what are the things that we do and say. So my friends, research is not very high vocabularies and complex theology and you don't understand anything else. No. People should understand, common men should understand, and educated men should understand. That is the target, that is the object, that is the goal. And therefore, make it simple. Don't worry about your language. If grammatically it is very correct, that is fine. We look at only grammar correction, not high vocabularies, not necessary. All right? That is where we have to keep in mind. That is part of the research characters. And we already mentioned this logical. In some places, yesterday or day before, we mentioned it must be logical coherence. We have to have a logic in your argument, logical argument. A good research project presents a line of argument that assists the reader in moving from one problem statement to a serious conclusion. So logic is a research paper or a thesis, a research project must present a line of argument in a logical way. Line of argument that assists the reader moving from one problem to another statement and come to a conclusion. So the sequence, the systematic way the argument must be present. That is the meaning. The characteristic of a research is logical. What is the logical meaning? Systematic presentation of your argument, of solving that problem. That is the meaning. And so the last one is problem solving. Research is an attempt to identify and fill the gap. Okay? To identify the problem and fill the gap. So in the school, the children fill up the blank. Fill up the blanks. The problem is there, therefore a misunderstanding. Because of the problem, we get a misunderstanding. Because of the problem, we cannot join together. Because of the problem, we cannot cross the problem. Bridge of hope is based on that kind of idea that the poverty, the underprivileged, we had to bridge, make the bridge so that they can also be in the society. And therefore they call it bridge of hope. Give them a hope, build up their hope for their education, for their living, because they are underprivileged. They are poor and underprivileged. But give them a hope. We have to give a hope in the hopeless situation. That is what a Christian is called. Similarly, that in our solving the problem of a thesis is similar way. We are trying to attempt to identify the problem, and then the gap is there so that we can bridge that gap. If you bridge the gap, you are solving that problem. If you're bringing up and helping up the underprivileged children, you're solving their problem. Otherwise, they will be lost. But you're bringing them, building up, at least they can live for their life in the society. They any of the social activities and administration, schools and other things. So you are solving that problem just by making a bridge, giving a hope of bridge of hope. Solving problem is that. So thesis we are applying here, that our thesis is solving that problem, identify the problem, and then bring it all the realities of your data and try to bridge that gap. And then you are solving that problem. All right. So that is the characteristics of the research. All those things involved. Finish. Class.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anything?
Thank you, sir.
You're also tired.
Yeah.
Sir, you must be tired of speaking, no?
Yeah, this is my profession. So I speak. When I speak, I speak. After I speak, I will be exhausted. While I'm speaking, I can still speak hours and hours. Only the problem is after you finish speaking, you are just finished. That's all.
I thank God that God used you in such wonderful way.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy you are alive. Because of you guys, I am also alive. When I see you are so interested, and I got that interest. Okay.
Okay, sir. Good night.